Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Time is of the essence, a legal term used in contract law across the Anglophone world, meaning that there is an onus on one or more parties to ensure that all agreed upon business is completed in a timely manner. I thought it was therefore the perfect strapline to use for today's review. That review being of this, the Formex Essence, which also happens to be a Swiss-made COSC-certified chronometer, and a really interesting watch at that. I think it's a handsome big thing available with a plethora of different strap options. Indeed, this one comes with a bit of a built-in strap fashion show. I've got no less than 4 different strap and bracelet options to show you. Now, this one was sent to me for free by Formex. I don't have to return it. If you're interested in picking up one of these for yourself, you'll find various links in the description of the video. Formex are offering a free bonus strap with all purchases, and as I said, you've got plenty of options to choose from. They've also got a brand new super light version of this available if you prefer your watches on the lighter side. The eternal question remains though, is it any good? Let's flip the camera and find out. Let's start with a quick look at the Formex website. I must admit, not a brand that was on my radar before this year, but it's a brand that's been in operation for 20 years, so you certainly can't call them a micro brand. I would describe their watches as modern and utilitarian. This Essence is a dressy tool watch. That's the kind of look that I get from it. There's certainly a bit of bling here and there, but it is tooly and versatile. A real all-rounder, especially when you have it on a few different straps. Chronometer version as discussed, these start at 1165 Swiss francs, which is the equivalent in US dollars. I've got the regular version, the non-chronometer certified version. That one starts from 770 Swiss francs, so around 770 US dollars. About 100 more if you want the bracelet. Now, before you spit your chips, this notorious tightwad thinks that that price is fully justified. This is a great watch. No less than 2 patented elements to the design. That level of originality is always going to cost a little bit more. I think this one more than justifies its price tag. Certainly one of the most comfortable watches it has been my pleasure to wear over the last 3 years. And like I said, they're currently in the pre-order phase of a super light version of the same watch. The head of the watch weighing in at 50 grams, which is pretty outstanding for a large automatic. All watches include free delivery, a 3-year warranty, and they guarantee that you don't pay any additional tax on your purchase. I know, right? Shocking. I'm not going to complain about the price today. It's been the first time in a long time. You know I'm a bracelet guy, this is going to shock you as well. The bracelet on this watch is fantastic, however, I think it is even better once you put it on one of the optional rubber or leather straps. So like I said, the deal at the moment, if you buy it on the bracelet, they're going to chuck in one of these for free. If you buy it on one of these, they're going to chuck in another one of these for free. Just a fantastically comfortable watch on the rubber and the leather, I think. All the usual review good stuff today, indoor-outdoor wrist shots, Lume video, movement accuracy report, but I'm going to start with the usual basic dimensions and specifications. So 43 millimeters in diameter, only 10.5 mil thick, 49.5 mil lug tip to lug tip, 22 millimeter lugs. There's a kind of instant taper down to 20, all the way to a butterfly clasp, and sized up for my 7-inch wrist on the supplied stainless steel bracelet. This one weighs in at 150 grams, so bang on that. What I always say is the stainless steel sports watch sweet spot. Full 316L stainless steel case, crown, and full stainless steel bracelet, solid end links with quick release. All of the straps here are on a quick release system, so you really can swap them out tool free. Very nice indeed. We have got a dead flat piece of sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and on the case back is another piece of sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. Now let's get on to the 2 patents. Let's get on to the first of the 2 patents anyway. This case is suspended. Look at that. And I'll show you why that is a good thing on this bracelet specifically a little later on. Case finishing, I think, is outstanding. A really nice mixture of brushed and polished. We've obviously got a high polished bezel, little high polished chamfered edge, such a delicate little chamfer, and it goes all the way down to the end of the lugs as well. Very, very nice. Now the crown is unsigned, but it does have the kind of hex imprint, same as those hex bolts on top.
You'll notice there's a little bit of linear brushing on the very top of the bezel here. Really, really great finishing. Certainly finishing beyond what I would expect on a $1,000 watch. And that's before we come to the bracelet. Another just beautifully machined. Look at the little facets on all of those links. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous bracelet to look at and a super, super comfortable one to wear. Very nicely integrated with the end of the lugs as well. The bracelet has a butterfly clasp with double security mechanism. Again, the brand name Formex etched in there. Looks very good. Pop one side and pop the other side. Now, on the fly adjustment, this one is all about comfort, as I said. It has a kind of a flip-flop. It's almost like the Rolex Easy Link. So you do get a little bit of on the fly adjustment, maybe 4mm. Certainly enough if it's a hot day, you can pop that out, give you a little bit of extra comfort in the late afternoon. Zoomed in on the dial and it is clean, classy and legible. Nice and simple on this black dialed auto. The chronometers feature a slightly different dial pattern. The regular automatics are all sunburst. The chronometer ones feature a kind of graded machine line pattern running horizontally, but these are all quite simple. So Formex Essence printed there underneath the 12, automatic above the date window, Swiss made, and a minute track printed on a Riho chapter ring there. Everything else is applied. We've got applied double batons at the 12, single batons everywhere else, and a little half baton for that nicely integrated, kind of beveled, recessed date window at the 6. There's some nice detailing to those indexes and nice detailing to the hands as well. I think the handset, though slim, are just about in proportion with the size of the watch. It's a big watch overall, but they push just to the edges of their respective hour and minute indices, and that little needle second hand pushes all the way out. You can see it just touching the edges of the markers there on the Riho. Now I'll unscrew a link, they're proper screw links to show you this case back. Again, you can see the level of design and engineering that has gone into this one. So screw on case back, literally. The crown doesn't screw down, you can still wind it from the default position, but it does have 100 meters of water resistance, which I think is perfectly in keeping with the style of the watch. Display case back as noted, and that is an ETA 2824. If you opt for the chronometer version, it's a chronometer grade version of the Sellita 200, but this one is an ETA 2824. 25 jewel hacking and hand winding. Swiss high beat auto. 8 ticks per second, 28,800 vibrations per hour, so you get that nice smooth sweep. They're reliable, they're proven, and they're pretty accurate. Let's get this one on the time grapher and see just how accurate. So yeah, no complaints about this one then. Running pretty much bang on in the default flat on its back position. Great amplitude, 0 beat error. Obviously the chronometer version is guaranteed to run within cost specs. This one running within cost specs is a bit of a bonus. And the level of lume is also a bit of a bonus on this one. Swiss made BGW9 Super Luminova. Plenty of it on the hands. Those the kind of elegant long hands come into their own after dark. Indices, and you've got the double at 12 and the half down at 6. So you always know which way up this watch is after dark. But this watch really shines once you get it on wrist. 43 is perhaps a little larger than I would have liked it to be. But 49.5mm lug tip to lug tip, super slim profile, 0 protrusion from the case back, nice downward sloping on those lugs, super comfy bracelet. It just wears an absolute treat. And that's the proper overhead shot for perspective. Those nice long hands, plenty of anti-reflective coating on the sapphire, and the silver against black means this one remains supremely legible. Same when you get it outside in some natural light. As I said, there's a silver one with plenty of sunburst, probably more pronounced sunburst on the silver and blue options than on this black dial version, but I'm a black dial guy. I really do think you can't beat them for overall versatility and wearability. And that's it on wrist on the bracelet outside as well. Very, very nice slim profile. Now to return to patent number 1. I think patent number 1 is slightly limited in its use. If you wear your watch above the knuckle like I do in most circumstances, you're not really going to take advantage of it. However, if you're a guy that likes to wear your watch below the knuckle, you bend your wrist, you can see, there we are. That's kind of what it's for. It gives you a little bit of extra comfort, a little bit of extra flex. Only really applies on the bracelet. I think when you've got this one on a leather or a rubber, that material provides the flex that would otherwise be offered by the suspension case. But there you are. That's pretty much what it does. If you're wearing it on the bracelet and you're wearing it below the knuckle, you flex your wrist, you get a little bit of extra flex there. You can feel it when you flex your wrist. You can feel the two pieces of the case moving away from each other and back together again. But that's what it's for. It just gives it an even more comfortable wear. On to the strap fashion show then. Tool-free adjustment. I just swapped out the bracelet for this first of the two leather strap options that I've got to show you. No problems at all, no tools required. Now, the butterfly clasp mechanism here looks kind of ordinary, but this is a carbon composite material. That's not where the patent is though. Let me get it on wrist and I'll show you. So that's it on wrist on the leather, but it's just a little bit too tight. You know that feeling where that one's too tight, that one's too loose? No problem at all. You have got a little ratcheting mechanism here. You can actually do it on the fly. There we are. You can see the distance between these two little bits of metal increasing. I've just adjusted the watch without taking it off my wrist. And that is what the patented ratcheting system looks like. Press that button in there and you've got, again, about 5 or even 6 millimeters of adjustment. It is so comfortable, this watch. And there it is on the rubber strap. Rubber strap, nice and soft, pretty comfortable at the best of times, but when you combine that with the on-the-fly adjust, this is just ridiculously comfortable to wear. It does add a bit of bulk. If you've ever worn a watch with a decent sized deploying underneath, you'll know what I mean. It adds a kind of double layer, and it's a little bit complex, so you do have to get used to how all of this works, but once you're used to it, I think it's a really interesting, novel, and innovative system. And strap number 3, the good old faux croc. Everybody seemingly loves a little bit of faux croc. So I guess tooly, you put it on the bracelet, sporty, you put it on the rubber strap, and dressy, you put it on this faux croc strap. So definitely a bit of a chameleon once you have a range of straps at your disposal. Moans and niggles. If you're not going to complain about the price today, Jody, what are you going to complain about? Well, as mentioned, all of this does add a bit of bulk on wrist, and it also adds complexity, something I'm sure you would get used to with extended use. And I can't tell you how long all of this is going to last if you are swapping it out and putting it on and off, etc. I mean, forged carbon fibre, those are little ceramic ball bearings in all the joints, etc. It looks like it's beautifully machined. I mean, look at that. Chamfered edges on the underside of the buckle there. The whole thing is fabulously well engineered, so I do have some confidence that it's gonna last. But as I said, it does add a bit of bulk, and you're gonna have to get used to that system. And then there's the name, Formex. From the French, forme extreme, extreme design. I guess that very much is the philosophy of the company, but I don't think it translates into English all that well. I would expect it on the side of a box of spark plugs. Hey, have you tried those new Formex double platinums? They really make your engine go faster. I guess again that's something you're going to have to get used to if you do want to wear this one long term. And the third moan and niggle is a deeply personal one. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. I wish it was a little bit smaller. 43, it still wears fine on my Joe average 7-inch wrist, but I would adore this watch even more if it was a 41, maybe with 20mm lug width. I think it would just mean it was a little bit on the dressier side rather than the toolier side. But an awful lot to like about this one. I review so many watches on the channel that look like other watches. This watch doesn't look like any other watches, and the designers of it have obviously put so much effort into it. Couple of patents on that case and that strap assembly there as well. I think this one more than justifies its price tag, considering it's Swiss made, it's so well made, and it's still less than £1,000.
So there you have it, the Formex Essence. Not what I would call cheap, but certainly one of the most interesting watches that I have reviewed on the channel in ages. A really nice design. Love the different facets to the case. Fantastic machining on that bracelet as well, and super comfortable, and so many options. If you're a type of guy who likes to have one or more watches but loves to change the straps around, then this one comes built in with all the straps you could possibly wish for. As I said in the review, the brand name Formex doesn't exactly scream horology to me, it screams spark plugs, but if you can get past that, I think there's a lot to like about this one. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.